All right, college football week 2 picks and predictions video, and week 1 is coming to a close tonight with the Labor Day game between Florida State and Boston College. But I'm doing this video now, getting this out tonight so we can get the picks in for week number 2. Starting on Saturday morning, Arkansas versus Oklahoma State in Stillwater. Arkansas looked very good last week, winning 70-0 over Pine Bluff, and I'm taking a Arkansas upset in Oklahoma State. SEC over Big 12 game right there. Next game, Penn State versus Bowling Green. This one's going to be boring, going to be ugly on BTN at noon on Saturday, and it's going to be a 49-7 thrashing by Penn State, getting their second win of the season. Going to Kansas State versus Tulane, a very fun game here. Potential upset pick in Louisiana, and yes, Tulane gets the win over Kansas State, knocking K-State out of the playoff picture. In Tulane, a sneaky group of 5 team this year. Could they be in the playoff? We'll see. Texas versus Michigan, the game of the week. Big noon kickoff on Fox. Quinn Ewers, the Heisman frontrunner right now. And Texas easily beats Michigan 42-20 in Ann Arbor. The post-Harbaugh era off to a rough start. Going to another Texas game, Texas A&M 0-1. But they're getting a bye game versus McNeese State. Can we see a big upset in College Station? No, 57-0. Texas A&M wins easily, getting their first win of the year. They lost to Notre Dame on Saturday, so they'll be 1-1. Oh my goodness, guys. Georgia playing Tennessee Tech, a fake school, not even a real college, and it's going to be 52-3 Georgia. They always start out really good in these games, and they take their foot off the gas in the second half. I would expect it to be 38-0 at halftime, 38-0, and then going, 14-3 in the second half, kind of putting the backups in, taking Carson Beck out at halftime, and they win 52-3, probably covering a 45-point spread there. Utah versus Baylor, a very sneaky game here in the Big 12, and Utah narrowly wins at home. A late touchdown drive with Cam Rising. Utah stays inside the top 15 here with a big win. Oh boy, the game of the week if you like defense. Iowa versus Iowa State. Over-under's at 37. I've seen that 36 already, the over-under on some sports books. It's going down quickly. Get it now. Get the under 37.5. And we're taking Iowa 6-2 here. So Iowa State gets an early safety, and Iowa gets 2 field goals and wins the game 6-2 on CBS. Notre Dame, Northern Illinois. I'm going to speed this video up here. It's getting kind of long. We still have so many games to get through. Notre Dame versus Northern Illinois, and it's a bye game for Notre Dame. It's going to be their second win of the season, 34-10, and Northern Illinois covers the spread there by a point. Ole Miss versus Middle Tennessee State. The over-under is 70 points already in this game, and I'm seeing 63-8. Take the over there in Oxford. Miami versus Florida A&M. Miami looked very good against Florida this past Saturday. They're playing Florida A&M now. I think the Rattlers of Florida A&M expect a blowout here, 69-0. And yeah, it's going to be a disgusting game there on ESPN+. Missouri versus Buffalo out of the MAC. Expect another blowout here. And yeah, 56-13. Missouri, top 10 team, looking pretty good so far this year in the SEC. Kansas at Illinois, a true road game for Kansas in the Big Ten. It's going to be a close game, but Kansas wins. They have great offense this year, improved defense this year as well. They're a top 20 team for me, and they beat Illinois 33-24. A quality win there for Kansas. And then Alabama versus South Florida. Remember this game last year? It was 10-10 at halftime in Florida, and this is the second home-and-home for this series in Alabama this year. And they easily win 42-14. Kind of a boring game in primetime on ESPN there. The second week in a row for Alabama. Going to another Louisiana game. LSU hosting in-state Nichols State. I'm not sure what their mascot is. And expect a massive blowout here, 66-6. Brian Kelly threw a fit last night after his loss. The team's going to be ready for Saturday, 66-6. Take LSU to cover the spread, whatever it is, this week. And then the game of the week on ABC, Tennessee versus NC State. It's going to be close. It's going to be fun. It's in Charlotte. Is this a neutral game or is it at NC State? I'm not sure. But guys, take Tennessee. They're the better team. Their quarterback is really good this year, and they're going to be a strong team in the SEC. NC State looked really weird this past Thursday against Western Carolina. A very slow start. They have Grayson McCall as their quarterback, who I think is a very overrated quarterback, and expect Tennessee to win this game here and cover the spread on Saturday night. And then Ohio State versus Western Michigan. So another MAC game for Ohio State. And that game against Akron was so miserable to watch. I live streamed the first half of that game on my channel, and I turned the stream off when Ohio State punted the ball. I was just so distraught. It was such an ugly game. I guess the first half. And the second half, Ohio State blew them out, yeah. But, against Akron, it should be like 70-0 at halftime, and it was just so ugly in the first half. Will Howard was very slow in that first quarter, and I turned the game off at halftime. Ohio State almost covered, actually, in the second half, but I expect them to cover this week. And 52-3 over Western Michigan. Easy win. And once again, no touchdowns given up by Ohio State's defense, the best defense in college football. And then Houston versus Oklahoma. Houston in the Big 12, Oklahoma in the SEC now. OU looked very good this past Friday against Temple. Expect them to get another big win here at home. 41-17, beating Houston. Houston's going to be 0-2 on the year. Very, very disappointing for them. And then primetime on ACC Network, App State at Clemson. Guys, here's the thing. I'm done with Clemson football. I've given up. I tried for years. I supported them. It's over. It's over for Clemson. The dynasty is over. And App State wins this game. I think App State should be favored in this game, actually. And Clemson's offense is just not there. It hasn't been there in years, really. And I would not be surprised to see App State win this game straight up, 20-17. And then, this is a big one. Boise State at Oregon. People are saying Boise State's like the favorite out of the group of 5 this year to go to the playoff. They looked very good at Georgia Southern. Their offense put up like 56 points in that game. Oregon looked very strange against Idaho. It was like a 4-point game with 2 minutes to go in that game. Oregon barely beats Idaho. They're getting 20 points here, or favored by 20 points at home against Boise. That's way too much for me. I expect Boise to keep this game close in the fourth quarter. Oregon narrowly wins, but Boise State stays in contention for that playoff spot out of the group of 5. Very, very good team there. And then what is this? Arizona versus Northern Arizona out of the FCS. A late ESPN Plus game. No one's going to be watching this game. And expect a thrashing, a fully throated thrashing by Arizona in this game. 70-7. Yes, we got a 70 burger in this one. And Arizona stays in the top 25, probably in the top 20. Pretty good team in the Big 12 there. Watch out for them this year to win the conference. And then Utah State versus USC. So Miller Moss is my favorite for the Heisman right now. He's up there with what's the other guy that I mentioned? Quinn Ewers. Yes, Quinn Ewers is the favorite. But Miller Moss, if there was going to be like a freshman to win it or whatever, I think he's the guy this year. I think he's a freshman, right? Or is he a second year? I don't know. But he's going to be very good this year in USC in the Big Ten. And expect them to win this game 45-14 at home, starting 2-0 on the year after a big win against LSU. Watch out for the Trojans this year in the Big Ten. So guys, that's it for week 2. Kind of it's an average week, honestly. Nothing really crazy. Obviously, you have the NC State-Tennessee game, kind of the top 20 game of the week. And then other games are kind of just blowouts. But we'll see about this week. We could see an upset. That's the thing about week 1. There was no upsets. I think every single pretty much favored team won. It was kind of a letdown. I was like waiting for an upset to happen, and teams just couldn't finish. Like I wanted Hawaii to beat UCLA, and they choked in the final quarter. I wanted Idaho to beat Oregon. The dream did not happen. I wanted Fresno State to beat Michigan. That did not happen. So it was kind of a letdown, really, in terms of upsets. But honestly, the first week is whatever. We're kind of just feeling out the season, seeing what teams are going to be for real, what teams are frauds, and seeing new coaches and the new scoreboard for ABC, ESPN. It looked pretty good to me. I'm fine with it. I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but it does the job, and it's a new era in college football. So in terms of the channel going forward, I'll do more live streams for these games on Saturdays. So tune in Probably Saturday night I'll do a live stream. If I'm not going somewhere, going to a game or anything, I will try to go live for one of the big primetime games or whatever. But guys, thanks for watching. My Instagram is linked below in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.